Okay, here's part 2 of the video, but not by choice. I don't know what happened, but when I paused my video, I guess it can only be paused for so long and then it automatically shuts off. And I don't know how to pick up recording from where it left off. So we're back. Okay, and where we left off was we were tapering the barrel each end to get that shape. Okay, now I went ahead and took my pencil and redrew that line that we had that we were carving off of. Remember, it was this one and this one, and we were tapering back from this one down. Okay, so I redrew that line and then I spaced it and drew another line right next to it all the way around at both sides. Okay, now, I didn't cut this one because I'm going to show you how I did it. And then I also drew a line at the rim on the top here and one at the bottom. And you can see I've carved them out with a V-tool. And that's what you're going to need is a V-tool, or you can use a knife. It'll take a little longer with a knife. So if you don't have a V-tool, you might want to get one because it'll make your carving a lot easier and a lot more fun. So, excuse me. So what I did is you take your V-tool. You don't have to go in very deep, and you're just going to remove that line. Just take your time. If you haven't used a V-tool, you might want to practice on something, making some designs and try to get control of it. The trick is holding your V-tool at the same angle and not tipping it this way or that way. Because what happens when you do that, it starts cutting out uneven, and it doesn't look nice. So we're trying to get that just a little 3D effect and create some shadows in our carving with this by cutting these lines out. I know you can just burn them too if you have a wood burner, but you don't get that same effect. I'm going to wood burn these after as well, but I think a lot of people would wood burn them and save the trouble of doing this, but you're not going to get that same look, not with a wood burner. Okay, so that's how you carve that line. So you're going to want to carve all of these just like that. Same thing. Then after you're done with that, you're going to draw the slats that would hold the barrel together. I spaced them about, probably close to 1/4 inch apart. So you start out and take it all the way down here, skip over that, take it down here, skip over that, take it down here. Do every one of them, about 1/4 inch apart. Go all the way around it, okay? Then, when I start carving these, I'll do the top first, just like this. That way I'm not jumping around the carving. It's a lot easier. Once you get a grip on it, you can continue these. And just keep popping them out. Just like that. They can go pretty quickly. Just be careful when you're pushing your V-tool up there. You don't go up through the these bands or the lid or the bottom. So try to have some control on that. Okay, so we went all the way around that. Here's my cat. I don't know if you heard her. And so we do these same way. Go all the way around, like so. Yeah, you can get the V-tools pretty cheap. Now this came with a set that my son had bought me for Christmas from, I don't know, I'm assuming it's all China because there's Chinese writing all over them. But they weren't very sharp, but I was able to sharpen them up. And I find them very handy, actually, now that they're nice sharp tools. Okay, that one's done. Now we're going to go down to the bottom here. It'd be easier to do it this way, actually. Yep, so my cat's going to get boisterous now. Yeah, she's a pain. She really is. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. So we were cutting these out. We're almost done with these slats on the barrel. Yeah, this really gives it a nice effect when it's all when you start doing your painting and whatnot. And don't worry if it's not perfect. You don't have to have exact spacing. You want it to look like a carving. You don't want it to look like it's been run through a cut through a CNC machine or something, you know. So there we have it. We got excuse me, all the grooves. Okay. So this down here is pretty much complete, other than you know, when before I get done with there, I'll go over, look over the whole carving with my knife, and I see there's one high spot like right here that I need to take down. In fact, I'll just do it right now when I'm thinking about it. And right there, and then I can redo that line. And you'll find that, you know, I mean, like I said, nothing's perfect. Yeah, you just kind of look it over, and if you see any high spot, there's another little one right there. This gives a character. Okay, and let's go back to this one and recut this groove. Okay. All right, now we're going to go back up to the apple. Okay, so what you got to do is you got to trim up this top here. Now, I've already done that, just trying to save video time, but you're going to go around and make this a little bit cleaner than the way we left it in that first video. So you know, you just want to get that kind of that shape that's in there. And also put a hole. I found the center where I want it. I put a hole, and I don't have a drill with me, so I'm just using this little tiny screwdriver I got, and I'm sticking it in there on an angle. You can see how much of an angle it is, because I don't want the stem coming straight up, you know. So then after that's done, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of go from this center part right here, and we're going to, on a slight angle, actually, you know what? Maybe you should do it with a V-tool too. You could kind of go like this, kind of get your idea of where you want them, because you know apples are kind of got that little mark on the top, kind of like this one. See how I got this one? So this is just to get you started, kind of know where you're going to put your marks in there. You know, like that. Okay. And then you're going to stab your knife on in an angle, down in that, right where that hole was at, and then come in the other angle, and you're going to take out a little notch like that. Then you're going to come to this one on an angle, stab it in there really good. Cut that notch out of there. We'll just go to all of these right now and get that. Okay, now we're going to go on each side of it like this and come down the side of the apple just a tiny bit, just over that crown. Not much. Same here. And they don't need to be perfect, because if they look too perfect, then it doesn't look like an apple. Okay. I'm going to come down just a little bit more there. Same with this one, just a little bit. Okay. So we got like that. Now, I'm going to take and I'm going to shave them up. And I'm going to cut these little corners off and these high spots, round them all up so they don't look so sharp. There's no, I don't never seen an apple with sharp edges, so just kind of round them up a bit, best way you can. Like so. Alright, this one down just a little bit more. Okay. Let's make it a little deeper here. And I'm going to cut a stem out of a scrap piece that we had cut off earlier when we were hogging those corners off. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. My hole got plugged up. That's all right. Let's make that a little deeper. And if anybody has any questions, you can just leave them in the comments below after the video is posted, and I'll try to answer them best I can, as fast as I can. Just kind of go around, clean it up a little bit, look at your shape and your profile. Does it look like it's going to pass as an apple? And after you paint it red, if you're going to paint them, you really get the apple effect. So I don't know, does it kind of look like an apple? I think it kind of looks like an apple. I'm going to take these in just a little bit more here. Just a little bit deeper. Don't cut it off though, go too far. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna clean up my hole that I got in this, if I can find it again, where I went in. Can't believe how fast that already got plugged up. Let's put a new hole. Remember, I'm going in on an angle. If you got a little drill, you can do that as well. I just don't have one here. It's over in the shop. Okay, and then here's a little piece that I saved to cut my stem. So I'm going to just whittle this down, take some of these corners off of it, and get it close to that shape. And I know, it's got to be that size or just a tiny bit bigger because I wiggled that hole a little bit bigger. Let me just get rid of some of this too. Just shaving it. You could use a toothpick, I guess, if you wanted to, but it'd be straight. I mean, this is going to be pretty straight too. I'm going to see how it fits in there. Oh, it's a little bit big. Let's take it down a little bit more. Let's see. Still a little big. Now that keeps getting plugged up. What's going on? There we go. That's going to be fine. So I'm going to take my pencil. I'm just going to mark it a little bit because I'm going to pull it out and cut it out. Be a little easier. Okay. So pull it out. Okay. Now I'm going to just try to a couple little scoop cuts and put a little bit of, just a little bit of character in that. Just give it a little curve. How much? You just gotta be careful with it. And take some off the top of this and kind of give it a little bit of a curved look instead of being perfectly straight. So kind of looks like an apple stem. Okay. Now I'm going to gently pull it back out. And I'm going to put a little bit of CA glue down in there. A couple of drops. This is like, you can use any kind of glue. This is what I got handy right here. Let's see. There it is. I ain't gonna go nowhere. Okay. So that's that. Now, like I said before, I'll look it over again real good one more time. Just spin it, look it over, look for any bad spots that you really can't live with. Like I see one right there. Maybe right here. Right here. I think that's pretty good. So, to get it prepped for painting, you take a little piece of sandpaper, a little worn out piece right here, and don't need much, just to try to get the dirt and the pencil marks off. I just kind of roll over it real fast like this. If you have any pencil marks that have a hard time sanding out, you can always just kind of take your knife. Oops, sorry. Take your knife, shave it out of there. Sure. Kind of like your eraser. Oh, something else too. I like to take and round these off, take any sharp edges off these edges here and on the lid. Like so. And clean that up too. I don't want that in there. Same as the bottom. And the bottom, really, it gives it a little shadow when it's standing on it's sitting on a shelf or a table or whatever. Just kind of gives it a little, like a worn out look, more realistic, a little more what they call action. Kind of like that. And you can just kind of hit that. Soften it up, same with this here. Nothing big. And then the apple. Just be careful of your stem. Now this is all, you know, everybody's preference. This is how I do it before I paint. You may have another way, a better way. And I'd like everybody to that's going to carve one of these or whatever they decide to put on it, because like I said, you could do a pumpkin, you could put a strawberry on top of it, you could do the pickle like I did, you could do whatever. There's a ton of little things you could do. Just use your imagination. So I don't like that right there. That's better. Yeah. So you can put anything you want on these. And I'd like everybody to post theirs. Show me what you did, you know. And remember, you know, you don't expect everything to be perfect. It just takes time to learn. So don't worry about if you don't think it looks good enough. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be, you know, nobody's going to knock you. Nobody's going to make fun of your work or anything like that. Anybody that does that will be thrown out of the group immediately. Don't tolerate that. And that's uncalled for. We're here to help each other and just have a good time, you know, and try to encourage people to get into carving. I'd really like to see some young people get involved, you know. I've been kind of racking my brain trying to figure out how I can get people involved. The only problem, I thought about going to like schools or whatever, but I think it's a liability thing that, you know, well, kids will cut themselves, you can't have knives in school, you know, it's just kind of ridiculous anymore how things are, but things are that way. But, you know, I know scouts, you know, you can carve soap with plastic knives, wooden knives, then that's a good start, you know, to get kids involved. But you know, again, if you can get a kid away from his phone to sit quietly and do something like this, would be something, huh? Anyways, let's not get into all that. So, now that I got all that stuff all cleaned up, how I like to do my painting. How many minutes are we right now? 24? Okay. We'll just continue. So, what I like to do is this is what I put on my carvings before I paint them. And I paint them with acrylic paints. Oops, like this. Let me find the right color. This is the red we're going to use. This is folk art. There's all kind. It doesn't matter what kind it is, but it's just acrylic paint. I put the oil on there first before I paint. It makes the paint kind of easier to work with. Just gives it a better look. So I just kind of coat this whole thing. whole thing in this mineral oil, like so. Get on everything, just like that. And brush it down the barrel. You don't have to put a lot, but just want to make sure you get it on everything. And then all the paint will take the same. I even do the bottom just to seal it. Just put something on there because that end grain really sucks it up. So I'll do that. And then whenever I have end grain again, like that's what's up on top here, I always put just a little bit more on there because it sucks it up so fast. That way when I paint it, I get that even tone to it. But you can see already how fast it absorbs it. You know, I just kind of brush it out, stand her up. I just save my brush in this little plastic thing, put it in my tray. Cap on my oil, I keep it in a little container like this. Oh, then I wipe my hands off. You know, you let that soak for just a little bit. Don't take long. I mean, sometimes I'll find something to do for 10 minutes or something, but it's not necessary. So then you can see it already absorbed almost all of it. So I just kind of give it a little wipe just with a paper towel. Get some of that excess off, like so. Get those spots. And there's not much on the top because it gets all soaked in. And I just wipe it all off like that. Clean up my area. Okay. Now we can start painting. I think the first thing I'm going to paint is going to be the brown for the barrel. Shake it up good. Now what I do is I put, figure out about how much I'm going to need, which is, it's a guess, you'll figure it out. Real close to that amount right there. Then I take some water. Got some water in this little cup here. You see it? And let me get my brush. Okay, got my brush. Put, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 drops of water in there. I'm just doing it off my finger. A little more. Then I just kind of mix it around. Got to get stirred in there good. And then after it gets all mixed together, it's almost like applying a stain. And you could apply a stain too, but you know, take stains a little longer to dry before you can work with them and handle them. So this works out really well. You'll see. Okay, now first place I like to start is right up here. I gotta make sure I get the frame. Okay, so I get right inside here, go around the lid, try not to get any on the apple, cut it in right up to that, like so. I come around the outside of it. And I want to make sure I get down in all these cracks. You don't want none of them exposed. Even though with some these bands are going to be painted a different color, we're going to be painting them a darker color so we can go over them. No big deal. Okay, so now we're just going to start bringing all these down. Just putting it on there. Brush it out. Again, make sure all those little cracks get filled. You don't want no smileys, I call them. Like so. I forgot to wood burn this. I was going to wood burn this first can be done after too. Doesn't matter. You just got to clean your wood burning tip after you burn with material on here. Just getting ahead of myself. Trying to make this a short video. I don't want it to be long and drawn out. Like the one I made earlier was just a joke. The very first one, I was off camera most of the time, and then my audio quit in the middle for some reason. I don't know why. So hopefully this turns out better. Hopefully I'll get better at doing this. I was thinking about a YouTube channel. I've had people ask me if I would start one and they could follow. We'll see. I'm just not tech savvy, all that stuff, man. Okay, see them little spots right there? They'll stand out like a sore thumb, man, later. Make sure they all get covered. There's a couple more. Just like that, all the way around that. There's one there too. And here at the bottom. Let's try to get it out, spread it out as even as you can. Look it over, make sure we got them all. I think we do. Here's one. There's one. We got some more paint there. All right. So now the barrel's painted. So we can clean up our brown paint. Okay. Now I'm going to hit it with a hairdryer real quick so I can handle it. 1 second. Another good thing about acrylic paints, when they dry, you can dry them so fast. Okay, so now we're going to get into the red paint. I'm not going to put as much water in this as I did the brown. We'll just put that in one of these little compartments here. Okay. We're going to put probably, I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drops of paint probably. Just enough to get it, makes it spread easier. So it's not quite as thin as we did the brown. It's your preference, so you can do it any way you want. Okay. All right, so now we're just painting the red apple. Cut around that bottom edge. Like so. I almost like painting as much as I do the carving. I don't know if it's just because it's really, you know, you're getting to the final stages of it, and that's why I just like doing it. I know a lot of people hate it. I mean, just hate it. And I'm talking about carvers, you know, they don't like the painting process. But I rather enjoy it. You can tell me in the comments what you think about painting them, if you like doing it or not. But then again, I'm a painter. That's what I do for a living. But it's a lot different than that type of painting. Now you could have also waited and put the stem in after you've done all this painting, but I just get it done. Remember, this end grain sucks it up. Even with the oil on it, it's still going to suck it up. So you can put it on there pretty good. And you'll be surprised how fast it'll all get drawn into the wood. I even kind of go over that a little bit each time, a little better. And be careful. See how I got red paint? Where's my finger? On my finger right there. Make sure you get that off, because when you go to handle it again, pretty soon that red paint will be down on the barrel. So you got to be careful about getting paint all over everything. Okay, so we're done with that for now. Just wipe the excess out, clean my brush up. And the stem, I guess we could probably try brown. See what happens with that. We got the paint out, might as well. I don't think it really matters. You could do it a lighter green color, you could do it yellowish color. Okay. All right, now our next color is going to be for the bands. Bottom and these three. And I'm going to leave now. I painted these. I think I'll do it this way too. This one I did, and I just put it around which would be the lid, kind of like holds it together. So I think, I'm just trying to think. I don't have a barrel. I didn't look one up to see exactly what they look like. I'm just going by what I think they used to look like, what I've seen, old barrels. So you got some gray. I got elephant gray. Let's try that color today. A little elephant gray. And maybe one more. A couple drops of elephant gray, and then I want to put some black in with that. Not much. In fact, I'm going to just take some on my brush. Well, I need some water in there first. A couple drops, maybe 3. Okay. And then take about that much black paint, because the black's strong and it really goes far. So we're going to take that in there, and we're going to kind of make it a dark gray where it looks almost like a metal. And if you got a metallic paint, you can use that. I just don't have any here. Probably got some over in the shop, but I don't have any here. Okay, so that's all mixed up pretty good. I'm actually going to use a different brush, a smaller brush, so I'll show you. Put this paint away. Okay, hopefully this isn't too boring for everyone. All right, so I got a little tiny brush that I'm going to paint these bands with. That rinsed out good. Okay, so first we'll start right here. Like that. And we'll go to this one. And you don't even have to wood burn these, so don't think you gotta run if you don't have a wood burner, or if you have to run out and buy a wood burner. You don't have to have one. You don't have to do that. I think the very first one I've ever did like this, I don't even know where it's at, but I don't think I didn't wood burn that one. You can also antique it with black paint, but you got to seal it first. What you would do is, after this gets painted, everything, all this paint gets done, you would take, after it dries, take some clear shellac, or maybe a spray lacquer or brush on lacquer, any kind of clear, and brush the whole project in a clear, and then let it dry. Then you take really watered down black paint and put it over the whole thing, and then wipe it off with a rag or a towel, and all the black paint will go in those little cracks and give it a little bit of accent. Okay, so that works out pretty good. But I'm going to dry this real quick, and then I guess we can get out the wood burner and check it out. Let's see what's dry. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Looks like an apple to me. A red delicious apple. There's your red delicious apple. Let me plug in my wood burner real quick, and we'll get to burning. Yeah, you can do as much detail as you want on these. I mean, you wouldn't even have to do it. This right here would be just fine. You don't even have to do all those different details. But more details brings your carvings more to life. I know this little tiny things makes a big difference. So I got my, it's like a sharp blade. I don't know what it's exactly called, but this is on my razor wood burner. So you just take them like that. Yeah, I'll definitely have to clean the tip after this. This might be easier, just do it the way we carved. I'm going to just go around this way, like this. I don't take much to give it a little detail. Alright, I hope everyone's enjoying our group. I think I mentioned that earlier in the other video. See some really cool stuff in there, and there's some stuff that I guess that's why I call it wood carving and art, because it doesn't necessarily have to be wood carving, but just some kind of art would be ideal. And you get those people trying to sneak in there and sell stuff, and that irritates me. Read the rules before you join, So you can see how that's enhancing the detail on these. Okay, now we're going to go around the rim here. And if you want, you could carve a face in your apple. I just didn't want to go through all that time. We can do that another time. We can work on some faces. I'm okay at them. I'm not that good at them, but not like you know, Doug Linker and the Dialdo wood carver. There's a lot of good carvers out there. Tell you, I went to if you haven't been to a wood carving show, go out and support them. Go to one. Find one that's going to be in your area. Make a point to go. You'll be amazed. You'll get really inspired. Bunch of nice people. It's a great community. I went to one in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it was fantastic. There was one in Pennsylvania just last weekend. I didn't know about it, and I had a 3-day weekend. I could have went down there and attended it. It looked like a good one. It was like what they call a carve-in, when you go in and you sit down and carve with people, and they'll teach you. You can buy rough outs from lots of carvers that have some really cool carvings. So they already made the rough outs. They make them themselves, or a lot of them have companies that make them for them. I didn't realize that, but I guess that's how that's done. But I encourage you to go to a show if you get a chance. And they'll have tools. Like if you can go and go to one where Helvey Knives is going to be, you'll be able to buy a knife. But if you want to order one from them, it's like, 3 or 6 months or something like that right now. I don't know. I waited probably 4 months or something for mine when I ordered mine. That was a long time ago, but well worth it. Great knives. That's what I was using today. That was a 2 1/4 rough out knife. So I did the whole carving with that and a V-tool, right? So I think I'm going to even do a little bit up here. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just to give it a little character. And then a stem. Just like that. Darken it up a little bit down here. And then around the bottom of the apple. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. So, I think that's about it. There's your apple sitting in a barrel. Like I said, you can put anything on the top of these. You can also do logs, same way. I don't have any right handy, but I see a bunch of them. They're just out of my reach. Let me grab them real quick. Just a couple of them. I can show you the log. 1 second. Let's see. Okay, so instead of the barrel, these, you do them like a log. Here's my like a biker dude. carved. Got his little bandana on, red, white, and blue. But you can see the log. It's just you can make it any way you want. That's all pretty much V-tools. After you get it rounded down, you just start cutting grooves in it, and nothing uniform. Make it mismatched and make it look like an old log he's standing on. And this guy right here, I don't know what this is. It was just something. I forget what I used to call him. Something I can't remember what I call him. But same thing, a little log, and then you got a little bear. I think Doug Linker is the one that showed me this one. I watched one of his videos. But same thing, little bear coming out of a log. So the sky's the limit with these little dudes like this. They're fun to carve. So anyways, I'm going to call that. It's been a long video, a whole hour. So hopefully you can fast forward and back up, and hope this helps somebody. Anyway, till next time, see ya.